Good morning, good afternoon, and of course, good evening. Good night, Enzo, I believe. Good night.
Pretty much. It's 10 o'clock.
You'd be off to bed soon.
Soon.
Yeah, I'm getting used to this. I'm getting used to the cross ocean divide. I spent quite a lot of time. I was speaking to my girlfriend Lisa. She lived in Australia. She's actually an Australian citizen, believe it or not. So she lived over in Australia twice actually. So we spent a considerable time, and for some reason she watches the pinball videos, and we spent quite a considerable amount of time talking about the desert in Australia last night. So
it's the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. It carried on last night. Now, we're back, and you may well remember a couple of days ago, myself and Enzo were doing a video, rudely interrupted by Spencer later on in the video. It was in a darkened room, and we were talking about JAWS from Stern, the new pinball machine, which it hadn't been officially released then. What we'd seen is the leaked trailer, and I wasn't entirely sure that was an accurate leaked trailer. I think it looked like the game was quite sparse initially. And I thought, what's happening at Stern if somebody can sort of escape out of there with the trailer? So clearly they've got some security issues at Stern. I think it would be fair to say, Enzo, that our initial impressions of the leaked trailer were probably lukewarm. But I certainly said in that video, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and see what the official announcement has to offer. We decided to do a video today. We've not actually spoken about it. Are you feeling any different since you've seen the trailer?
Oh, look, I am. I'm feeling better, to be honest. I still have a pre-order in. I think the trailer, that leaked trailer, obviously wasn't the full in detail trailer that we saw. Could have been a publicity stunt by Stern. I really struggle that someone leaked that. I really do, but whatever. Look, much better. I still have the same feeling about the artwork on the playfield. I think that was a bit of a letdown, or is a bit of a letdown, sorry. But, I think George Gomez made me feel better, to be fair. His little presentation video really explained it. The fact that we've got the voices, the fact that there's a couple little secrets in the game with the 3D videos, and you can play as the shark, and a bit more, I guess, a better look and a close-up look at all the ramps, the shots, the orca. Look, I'm feeling better. I love the genre. Great movie. I'm into film, so fantastic. I am feeling better today. And everyone I'm speaking to that was negative has said the same thing. So I'm assuming you've probably said the same thing.
Yeah, well, you can assume away. I do. I feel a lot better about it. I've got to say, I'm in. Yeah. I get it. I've bought into the concept, and I mean, there's so much. What we'll do in a minute, we'll pop up some images from the Stern website, maybe discuss the art pack, the different art packages and whatnot of the various games.
Yeah.
But I think I spend so long, talking about simple rule sets and then dismissing games with complicated rule sets. And for regular watchers of this channel, I often say if the rule sets and the theme are there to explain the game and explain the shots in the game. So if you can't explain the rules to me in 10 seconds, so as I understand them, I may well have a problem with the game. So I always go back to this. I know I've said it a million times before, but just in case anybody has not watched before, Attack from Mars, there's flying saucers, the aliens are invading from Mars, they're over some of the major cities in the world. With the pinball, you have to blow up the flying saucer and defeat the aliens in each city. That's the premise of the game. That's the story. Now, that story is going to tell you how to play the game. And I find some rule sets overly complicated. As soon as you mentioned George Gomez, I think it was him that first started explaining it, you basically bait the water and the shark appears and you have to kill the shark. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. That's the story. Now, obviously, there are going to be more layers to that, but I'm really happy. There's going to be different sharks. I think I'd imagine you'll be incrementally, and I would guess that perhaps the wizard modes will be the actual Jaws. I'm wondering why they've got 4 films in there. Maybe that's it. Maybe you start off killing a little little minnow, and then a hammerhead shark, and you know all about sharks being over
Well,
there.
in the video package, it does show when he was saying that you play the hunter, and on the screen on the pinball, it was showing the different types of sharks. I think it had like tiger shark, and so I'm sure that there are different, and you've obviously got to kill the different types of sharks. So I definitely think that's probably what's going to be in there. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in. I am. Like the concept and the rules of that, I'm in. And I think if you're going to add in the theme of a film that I say a film, 4 films, I'm not even sure I can remember number 2. I certainly don't remember number 3. I don't even know what's going on.
Was it number 4 Sharknado?
It's just awful. It's just I don't know. So I can't remember. I'm only interested in number 1. But what they haven't done is done sort of what happened with Toy Story 4. I don't mind if they add the other ones in, as long as it's centered around the main one and the main characters, and obviously, you know, it's got a big shark on it. I'm absolutely fine with it. So what one are you in for? What have you pre-ordered? A premium?
Yeah, look, premium. I'm not one on spending the extra $5,000 on an LE personally. Although one thing I did notice on this one, the Pro and the LE have the same back glass.
Yes.
And the premium's got a different cartoon kind of drawing. There must be the other film, maybe. I prefer the original back glass, like the Pro got. So I'm probably going to have to change it.
Would you? Will you change that? Will you buy the Translite from the Pro and put it on the LE?
Probably, yeah, probably, or an aftermarket one, whatever. I just think you know, if you're going to do it and it's such an iconic movie poster, you might as well have the same one for all of them. Personally, but you know, whatever.
Yeah. Maybe make the LE a mirrored one to make that slightly different.
Yeah,
but yes,
or 3D or something.
Yeah.
No, I think, but look, I mean, recapping it, I think as soon as I saw George Gomez on the screen and he started explaining it as the father figure to the rule set, it was very straightforward. I still think the little fin is very small, and I still think the shark should have eaten the ball, but whatever. Yep. You know, it is what it is. We'll forget about it once the game arrives and we're playing. You know, this is all criticism because you know none of us actually played it. There are things I would have liked to have seen, but you know, very simple. It looks great. You know, I mean, it's a lot better than what the leak, you know, showed us. But the leak got everyone talking. It had pretty much every YouTube channel that does pinballs covered it. So,
got to be done. It's got to be done, Enzo. Sorry, you've just frozen them for a moment. By the way, you've frozen. If you feel you have, in fact, what I'm going to do, Enzo, I'm going to kick you out and then just rejoin the video. And whilst you're doing that, I'm sure I can waffle amongst myself for a little bit. Yeah, I got to say, I was very, very pleased with what I saw. I think looking at the 3 art packages, I was impressed with the Pro. I was absolutely impressed with the Pros, the art package. It looked very similar, didn't it, to the LE? And it is weird how they've gone on almost like a different journey, if you want, artistic journey with the premium. And don't get me wrong, I don't think the art package is up there with, well, for instance, that. I don't think it's as good as Elton John or maybe, you know, some of my favorites, but it's good enough. I don't feel that JAWS has to be an artistic masterpiece. It just has to remind me of JAWS. It has to remind me of the movie. And I'm really, really happy with that. There's no doubt about that at all. I really liked it. But when I started exploring more and more of what George Gomez was saying, well, welcome Enzo back there. Sometimes, Enzo, it's just easier to kick you out and bring you back in. You've already explained to me about your dodgy Aussie internet. You and Spencer told me.
It's a bit bad. I've actually dropped off the house Wi-Fi, and I've just jumped on the phone one now. So who knows what the hell's going on?
Oh, well, okay. Well, if it happens, it's easy enough. We just jump out and rejoin. Yeah. It's absolutely fine. I was just talking about the art packages. I was just saying how it's interesting. They've gone a separate way with the premium. I look at that Pro art package, and I really, really like it. I've got to say. But just going back to what you were saying about the fin, I love the Drac attack on a Dracula on Monster Bash. And it seems to be a similar thing there. I like the fact that it pops up. I'm quite sure that there's going to be an aftermarket mod, which will probably make that a little bit more fin-like. But I actually love the concept of you hit the chum bucket and then the water goes red and then the fin comes up. Again, it's the simplicity, I think, of the game. I don't mind it. It hasn't got to be overly complicated. I'd be quite happy to do that all day. I mean, I'm the guy. I'm just trying to think of. Have you got Star Trek Next Generation?
Yeah, well, behind me. Yeah.
What's the ramp on the right hand side, the furthest right? Is it the Alpha ramp?
Yeah. Yeah.
Checking. Yeah. It's right behind. Okay, it's there, isn't it? I'm the guy. So that's when you hit the Alpha ramp. It says 5 million, 10 million. You keep hitting it, right? And it goes up. I'm the guy who'll sit there all day doing that. All day. I tend not to get bored by hitting the same shot in pinball. So I'm more than happy with what I've seen here from this from what's been on offer, and to the point where I'm actually thinking that the Pro is actually quite a tempting proposition. Now I don't know what I'm going to do exactly on this one. We got another Enzo. We've got double Enzo. We got him popping up. We got you popping up all over the place, mate. You know what? Don't worry about it. That's cool. Let's get some of your opinions, just in case you disappear again. Let's get some more of your opinions on maybe the shark popping up, or the upper playfield, anything that you might have spotted, really.
Well, look, like I said, I think the shark popping out is, I mean, it's better than nothing. Obviously, there was a lot of speculation that it may not have even have shown in that manner. I still would like to have seen it obviously eat the ball. Didn't have to spit the ball out, but maybe a red light in its mouth, or just a little bit more interaction as opposed to just a can't think of the word, a knocker toy.
Yeah, bash toy.
Bash toy, that's the word. But I think look, it works. The idea of the little speedboat. Maybe the speedboat might not have even been necessary, really. It could have been just, like I would have loved to have seen an under playfield area, the ocean. That's me. Maybe a whole translucent, Fathom is a great game for that kind of water with the light underneath, and the playfield art and stuff. So really leveraging the water side and using an under playfield, that would have been great. But the shark, at the end of the day, look, it's good. It could, would have been great if it was eating the ball, but it doesn't. The idea on the Pro, I mean, that's better than nothing. Considering that obviously there's always going to be stuff taken out. And like you said, the idea of the bucket and then going into the water with the LED lights could have been would have liked to have seen those screws hidden a bit better around
there's some posi, some what we call Phillips or positives, crosshead screws heads on there, aren't there? Yeah,
and I'm kind of thinking every time the ball hits that, is that scratching the ball? Is it going to do damage to the playfield? Like, that's me overthinking it. But it would have been nice if they probably put little painted blues. I don't know, maybe the paint might have come off, but there's a few of them. I think there's 2, 4, 6. I think there's 8 of them or 6 of them. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
And look, the Orca looked good. It's probably a lot of people with some of the comments, and this is everyone nitpicking, right? Like, the Orca maybe is too chunky, as in like height. It could have been a bit thinner, but whatever. I think the shots on there are pretty cool. It turned out like you were right. There are 2 shots up there.
Yeah.
And then the idea of the Avengers spinner target, which is the actual wheel of the boat. Look, I think it's great, and the way you come off and on the boat as well, the ramps. We don't have a lot of space on playfields, and there's only a certain amount of shots that are not going to be repetitive, because when you've got however many games Stern have made in the whole history of Stern games, they're going to start getting repetitive, right? So it is a bit limiting. It is a bit limiting. And look, and I think after what we saw, I feel a lot better. I liked the bumper with the yellow barrel on top.
Yeah, that looks good.
The little Easter egg of Larry Stern in the water on the artwork. I thought that was pretty funny.
Good old Barry.
Good old Barry, Larry, Gary.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, I mean, overall, I think, the art blades make a hell of a difference, because I think at one point they were showing the Pro without the art blades. Look, I mean, in general, obviously there's been a lot of talk. I think it's very good. It looks a little bit plain in the middle, but that's maybe, again, close-up camera. Everyone reckons Batman 66 is plain in the middle. But, when you are playing it, it doesn't feel playing. So for me, I'm like, I've been playing pinball all my life, but I've only been collecting a short time. So sometimes, a bit of a novice when it comes to, the expectations of some pinball collectors, and, the fact that a lot of them claim bare, that some games are too bare, some games are too full. I just want easy game to play, fun. I can connect to it, and this looks like it's exactly that.
It really does, and I think this is it. That they make a fun game. Well, not all the time. For anyone that's seen my Venom review, I don't always think that's the case, but they do make working games that I think are fun to shoot.
I'm pretty sure that's the only game that's not fun that they've made, to be honest. I can't think of another one.
Yeah, well, but yes, it's there are definitely some. I don't mind this. I'm actually excited. I've got to say, I'm excited about this game, and I think after I've changed my mind a lot. So I think when I heard about the release, because I love the theme, it is a dream theme. JAWS for me is a dream theme, and you're never going to please everybody. You're really not. In the same way. Some people just don't like theme. And I think a lot of people, some people are saying, well, the theme does nothing for me. I totally understand that it wouldn't. There's certain themes that do nothing. Marvel themes do nothing for me. I understand that I might contradict myself, because Deadpool is possibly my favorite game. But I've got to be honest with you, I wasn't even aware that Deadpool was Marvel. But I think all the lots and lots of superheroes is not something that resonates with me. So I totally understand that JAWS would not be a dream theme for everybody. But for me, it is. So when I just one of those iconic films from when I was growing up, I'm going to look at it and I think, okay, I was excited. I was excited that Keith Elwin was doing it. One of the things that probably tempered my excitement was the fact that Keith Elwin was doing it. Now, let me just quantify that. I knew the shots would be good, but I found his games up to now overly complicated in terms of rules, and probably a little bit too long for me. Then when we had the teaser trailer was leaked, I was a little bit disappointed. And then when we've seen the proper reveal, I've gone up again, because actually I am now looking at it. The rule set looks absolutely great. I like the look of it. I like the art package. It looks like JAWS. I am adamant the mod makers are going to work wonders with this game. And if you haven't seen it and you are new to the channel, go back and search my old videos and go and have a look at my Godzilla. When I've had the airbrushing done, it's got Davey Stumbler, it's got Jazz Bush's mods in it. It's got it's full of mods, and it's got everything on it. I think that my Godzilla's better than LE. I really do. They've transformed it, and I've no doubt that the mod makers, and I've got to say, I think it's probably fair to say now that I've spoken to a couple of the mod makers already, just over the past would just be the past 24 hours. I've spoken to them, and there are mods planned, already planned mods for this. People take a look at it, and people have told me what they're going to do. I know been told of at least 4 mods already that people are planning to do it. Obviously, I would never reveal anything, because that's their business and not mine. But I am confident that they are going to make really, really good modifications for this. So it's going to be a beautiful looking game. I know it's going to shoot well. The rules seem good. I'm excited. I'm in for one. I've been lucky enough that that Pinball Heaven, who are the sponsors of the channel, where are they? There we go. Pop them up. There they go. Pinball Heaven, who are the sponsors of the channel. I spoke to Phil, and he said to me last night, he said, well, look, I'm going to send, I'll send you one down for filming and all the rest of it, and I'll get a chance to test it and borrow one to really decide what then I want to do. So I'm not feeling the pressure immediately. I like the Pro, and I like the art package on the Pro. I do think the Shark coming up is a pinball moment, whilst both you and I and lots of other people would have liked the Shark to have been swallowing the ball. or whatever, or spitting it out or something. So I've got that. But then again, I'm not a great fan of upper playfields generally. I'm not a great fan of them because I find them quite, particularly with a little flipper, I find them hard to shoot. And one thing I did want to say before I forget, be interested to get your opinion on this. So I think it's Roadshow. You know the game. How well do you know Roadshow, the game?
Not very well, but yeah,
Okay.
kind of.
There's a little flipper on the left-hand side, and the ball
Yep.
sort of runs down a channel. And as the ball's running down, you can hold it. You can hold the ball
Oh
in place.
yes, yeah, yep.
I really like that aspect of Roadshow.
Yep.
And it seems to be on here. You can trap. I like that. I like being able to trap the ball off that little flipper. Now there appears to be 4 shots, which are the 3 targets, and then one just above it off that little flipper. What were your thoughts on that? And
Yeah, look, as soon as I mean, that obviously must play a pretty important role in the game because they showed it in the trailer. They showed you holding the ball, stopping, having to think about what you want to do with it, and then letting it go. And I think one aspect of pinball where you want to sometimes, like always, and a bit like in soccer or football, slow the game down. Sometimes just slow the game down, because it's getting too hectic and you want to just control. And one thing is grabbing, catching the ball with the flipper and holding it and being able to do what they showed. Oh, look, I think it's great. And anything that's different and innovative, or maybe people have forgotten about because it hasn't been in a game for a while, I'm all for it. And I think it's just another depth to the game. It's great.
Yeah, well, it's like I look at 8-Ball Deluxe, which obviously a game I really love. The upper flipper there's not a lot you can hit off it, but it's still pretty cool to do. In fact, I think you can probably hit every shot. You don't even need that upper flipper, quite frankly. But I don't need the upper flipper to do a million different things. I was chatting to my friend Andy. So Andy sent me. I think he's taken a screenshot of the. Just trying to find it here. He's taken a screenshot of the apron card. Let's have a little look. Where's he gone, Andy? It says instructions. You just probably just see it there. I've got the instructions of the apron card just here. Shoot chum bucket to chum the water, complete the chum line. To light ready barrel. Ready barrel, complete the drop targets when lit. To attach a barrel to the harpoon. It's got a thing about JAWS multi-ball. Feeding frenzy, quick shot. Shooting the harpoon lane from the mini flipper activates quick shot. Quick shot multiplier increases the further the ball is shot up the harpoon. So the further the ball shoots up this harpoon lane will increase the amount of multiplier you get. I like that. I like that. There's a lot of stuff here. I think it's just, as I say, go and read these. Go and read these rules for yourself. There's 3 multi-balls as far as I can see. 2 or 3 multi-balls there. I don't mind that at all. If that's what you've got to do, shoot the chum bucket, chum the water, maybe hit the barrel, bang, hit the shark. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I really don't have a problem with that at all. I'm pretty damn excited about it actually, and. So what are they talking about for you for lead time in Australia? Do you think, or do you not know?
Well, actually, I haven't actually heard. I haven't spoken to Joe about that. I'm assuming we're probably not going to see it. It's normally kind of 6 months after an announcement, but I could be wrong. In saying that, they may already have. One thing I hate is let's announce Pulp Fiction, and then 2 years later, everyone's still waiting, or a year later, everyone's waiting, right? And I think that's a bad move. I think if you're going to announce something, it's got to be like Apple does. Here's a new phone. You can buy it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's a shitload of stock, right? So I'd be surprised if they don't already have them all done and they're going out the door in the next couple of weeks.
Well, I should probably say I am quite possibly going to play one within the next 2 weeks.
There you go.
So if I do, I'll 100%. I'll be reporting back on this channel. I'm not sure about the fine details of it. So I'll certainly report back my findings. If I can do even better and film myself playing. In fact, you don't want me playing it. You want me to film someone else playing it, ideally. If I can do that, then I'll bring you as much information on this channel as I absolutely can. I just want to show you something now for those of you that what we're talking about. Lots of pinball machines. These are Cactus Canyons. Well, not all of them, but Cactus Canyons in the UK. Okay, so They're here. The container. What day is it today? Friday the 5th. What day is it in Australia?
So it's nearly Saturday.
It's cheating. I feel like I've been robbed. Actually, I don't know why you get everything before. Well, actually, you don't get the pinballs before we do, but you get the days before we do.
Yeah.
And it's something strange that actually, if you think about it, even though it's my birthday, it's going to be my birthday in Australia before it's actually my birthday, and I get to celebrate it. There's something very, very wrong with the way the world is spinning. So Cactus Canyons are in. That's been opened today. That's nice. Friday the 5th. The container is in the UK for those Cactus Canyons. So just thought I'd give that bit of good information there to people that want to know that. I am hopefully looking forward to playing it within the next couple of weeks. I've got one as soon as I hit the UK. I should be getting one in here. So if you are on the fence and you're in the UK and you're not sure whether or not to do it, and you're sort of within sort of spitting distance of me here, like was the case with and John there or whatever, people are welcome to pop round and have a cup of tea and have a game on the pinball machine. That's absolutely cool. And I've also got some news of another very, very exciting. I'm never sure what I'm allowed to say, so I don't say everything. But I've got another pinball machine arriving here in the next 2 weeks, which is really, really exciting. Really exciting times, actually. So I'm very much looking forward to that. A relatively new release, let's put it that way. Anyway, right, Enzo, let's just go back because your connection wasn't too good before when we pulled this. When we pulled the website up.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking about this middle art package, this premium art package here, apart from the back glass there?
Well, coincidentally, being a premium, I actually prefer the art package on the Pro.
Yes.
I think the glass should have just stayed the same across all three because it's iconic. You just can't mix with it. You can't mess with it. Look, artwork on the side of machines, I'm not overly worried about because, in all honesty, they probably sit, a couple hundred mil away from each other. You never really see the full, artwork. It's not like when you've got one machine and you can walk around it. But I do prefer the artwork on the Pro, to be honest. I think there's something about the color they went on the Playfield, the blue. There's something hypnotic about the color. It's not dark, and it's not, it's like it's an interesting blue tone that they've chosen.
I like it.
Oh yeah, I do too, and I think it's quite, like I said, it's quite hypnotic. I think with the fact that the score is the original guy, the voice acting is the original, the classic theme, the classic anxiety sound that we get, it's going to be immersive. And I think it's probably going to give us what Alien gave us as a machine. The soundtrack on Alien was immersive and it kind of pulled you into the game. And I think this will probably do the same thing because we know it, right? We know what to experience. We know what, it's going to be familiar, the sounds. So, but yeah, look, I think they've done a good job in general. I can't really complain, to be honest.
No. I do you know what? I think that's an absolutely great point about the call outs. That's Richard Dreyfuss is doing the call outs. This is really good. I like that machine. I mean, I really like the Elton John machine. I think where they've missed a trick, they obviously got him around long enough to get a couple of call outs, but then you've sort of got a generic lady doing the call outs. So there's nothing to do with Elton John. That would be my one. I like the spinners. The spinners make a great noise. Yeah. So to get Richard Dreyfuss in, I do think is a big deal.
Couldn't have done it. You couldn't have done it without him. I think a voice actor could have probably pulled it off. But let's face it, what's he doing these days anyway?
He's out of work. Maybe he could join us on the channel. Let's chuck some chum across the internet and see if he bites. Get Richard Dreyfuss. Wow, imagine that. That would be a cool interview, right?
He's probably doing cameo where
I know. That's what those are for.
Oh, there you go.
That's what you can get. You can get a special
Cameo puppets.
Well, yes, a similar thing to Cameo. Yes, you can get a special birthday greeting from either Conor McGregor or Zippy. You wouldn't know that Zippy's from an English TV show from the 70s and 80s called Rainbow, which was a TV show we all used to sort of watch over here. So yeah, I got they're not my only puppets. I've got a few puppets. I've actually got I've got a Borat puppet as well. So yeah, so I'm fully aware. He probably is doing Cameo. I'm fully aware of the concept on that, but I do think that's really, really good. I did want to point out, by the way, for those of you that, so you can see these speaker grills that they've got there.
Yeah, they're going to be action motion with the sonar and the color changing with the game, apparently.
Well, whatever they are, if you want those inserts, hold fire. I know someone that's working on them right now. I can hook you up. That's a maritime expression. I can hook you up with one. I'm not through me. Just keep your eyes out. Again, go and have a look at the speaker lights on my Godzilla. And I'll be basically like that with the shark. He's working on other things, not just the shark as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on. But the mod makers are on it, are hot on it straight away.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for speaker lights. My Bond's got the ones on that motion with the sounds, so you can hear my voice and it's changing color. I think it's great. I think they're great. So, to see this in JAWS where it's interactive with the game, so when it switches to sonar, it goes to the sonar green, and then goes red with the blood. I think the interaction of the lights is cool. It's something else that's new to them.
Well, and they need to throw something else in there with those LEs to separate them. From the premium. And I do wonder, because I like yourself, I think let's just go back to it. I think the art package on the premium is the worst one. I do. And I do wonder if they did that to make separation between the premium and the LE.
Probably.
The great irony is, I've not decided yet because I don't have to decide yet, but one of the determining factors may well be the art package.
We'll see. For me, I mean,
to that, they might lose a sale of a premium because the art package of the Pro is better.
I'm a sucker for an upper playfield, so I'm the opposite. I love upper playfields. Any extra area that I can play in, I'm all for it.
I think the trouble is I find them quite hard. I lack accuracy generally, I think, with my pinball play anyway. I don't care. I love pinball. That's why if I nail a shot, I'll keep hitting it. I love pinball. Did you play every day?
Pretty much. I've been playing as much lately because I've got a bad ankle. So standing, even though I've got carpet, standing all day, running after two kids, and then at the end of the day with a bad ankle, you got to try and stand to play pinball. So
they are your kids. They are your kids that you're running after, right?
Yeah, correct. No one else's. No Jimmy Carr jokes here. Yeah, so the kids are in here every day. My 8-year-old daughter is grand champion on Deadpool at 560 million.
Yeah,
at bloody 8 years old, mate. So they love it, and it's getting them focused better with the motor skills. And both of them have watched the JAWS George Gomez trailer bloody 10 times already.
Have they?
Oh, my 5-year-old's so into the ocean, and today he was pretending to be a shark. So
brilliant.
He's loving it. He can't wait. He can't.
You want to watch your ankle? Start nipping at your ankle, make it even worse.
Probably.
Actually,
yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, yes, I mean, I play every day. I play every day. I just love playing pinball. I love everything. I love switching on the machine. I love making videos about pinball. I love ordering mods, opening mods, writing about pinball on the forum, reading about stuff. It's honestly the best hobby in the world. I think anybody that is not into pinball is missing out. I do. I think they're missing out on like a chunk of their life. I think it's the best hobby in the world. I really do. I sent it to my girlfriend last night. The excitement that I was getting just from this JAWS release. So whatever the chemicals, the endorphins, or whatever it is. That was endorphins, not dolphins, which we try and keep it maritime and nautical.
See what you did there.
Absolutely. You see what I did.
See what you did. See what you did again.
I like it. So yeah, I love the hobby, but I don't care if I'm not the best player. There's no value or currency in it for me. I don't care. It doesn't impact how much I enjoy the hobby. But I am very aware that on upper playfields, I struggle to hit them, particularly off those little flippers. The only 2 playfields, I've got to say, that I've ever really been able to play as a normal pinball game is actually Lebowski, because I can hit the 3 shots with relative regularity on there, so I feel like they're proper pinball shots. And the other one was actually Scooby-Doo, and I do wonder if that's because the upper playfield was so huge. Have you seen a Scooby-Doo yet?
Yeah. And my friend Shane's getting his this week. But yes, and I think I was about to say, because those playfields are massive, it's very easy to keep the ball up there.
Yeah.
And a little bit with the Mandalorian as well. That's quite a big playfield. You know,
the Mandalorian's just got the one flipper with the bounty hunter's head, right?
On the Pro, but on the Premium, it's got 2 flippers.
Oh, has it? Okay, I didn't know. Okay.
Playfield. Yeah,
right.
And you can keep it up there for, even with the one, you can keep it up there for ages. I have to say, where upper playfields annoy the shit out of me is when I can't get up there, right? So there's 2 games which make it impossible to get up there, Royal Rumble, and it could be because I know the negative trolls in the comments are going to say probably because I'm a shit player, but the one on the Royal Rumble, I can barely get up to the wrestling ring at the top, and Foo Fighters, I can never get up there, right? That's the thing I hate about upper playfields, when they make it too difficult to get up.
Oh, Foo Fighters is the ramp on the right-hand side, the Area 51 ramp. That's a tough shot. That is a tough shot. It's steep.
Mate. Yeah. Like, I could tell you, I've played that machine since I've had it, let's say it 50 times. I reckon I've been up there twice.
I tell you what, I'm a big, but I really
don't. I'm an amateur player. That's probably why.
Well, yes and no. They underpowered the coils on those. They basically used the wrong coils. When I've ever had any sort of Stern machine, you're able to move the power of the coils up or down. When I got Foo Fighters, and I've had 2 Foo Fighters, I've had the Premium and the Pro. Very, very lucky. The flippers were maxed out, so they knew it. That what they needed to do was have the next power of flipper up, next coil, the next whatever level of coil up, and then allow you to tune them. But yes, that's a hard shot anyway to get up to that upper playfield. I actually thought once it was up there, the upper playfield was all right. But my friend Colin made a great point on the forum earlier on today or last night, and that is that, you know, some of those shots in the upper playfield can be hard, and just looking at it on JAWS, all it really is, the upper playfield is a diverter. Eventually it's going to come back down the other way. So actually you still inherently got the same shot. It'll just be going onto a wire form rather than the upper playfield. So I mean, there's a lot of people who think they're possibly not losing an awful lot in that aspect with the Pro. It's whether or not you want to lose the speedboat and the pop-up shark, which is your pinball moment. I think that.
Well, yeah, because look, I'm sure if anyone that orders a Pro, when the Orca doesn't come, someone will do a mod to put an Orca in that corner, and kind of intertwine that rail anyway. But I think, I love my upper playfields, but I think they can be a pain when you can never get to them. And a lot of machines, and especially if you want to appeal to a wider audience. Kids love Foo Fighters. They love playing it, especially at my local bar.
Yes.
I see a lot of kids play Foo Fighters, and I purposely listen, go to see, and they're like, "Oh, I can't get up the top. I can't get up the top." So it's not just me.
No. Far from it. I'm actually just before we finish, I've got to crack on. I've got some work to do. I've been doing precious little work actually in the last day or so because of, and I completely blame Stern and JAWS for doing this. I'm just trying to look at a post that I'd seen on the forum, which is Pinball Info, which is basically the UK version of Pinside, smaller, but hey, I'd suggest a little bit more friendly, actually. We're just going to go and have a little look for that now. Okay, so this is from Scott. Made this post here. You'll just have to excuse me because it's a little bit off camera here. So if I disappear, it's just excuse me. Just trying to present to you a new screen here. Share screen. JAWS by Stern. Now, if you look at this now, Scott has put this on there, and hopefully you can see just in this area on the left-hand side. I'm not sure how much I can sort of zoom that in, but I mean, Scott was making the point. Can you see that a bit better now?
Yep.
This is not a mod for a pinball machine, but this is just sort of a model that somebody has made. And I used to collect quite a lot of models, which are like sort of sideshow Weta models for Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. The stuff that people can make is quite incredible. Now, if you got a pro and you were able to get something like that sort of stuck where the Orca is, I mean, some of the stuff that's going to work with this, I've no doubt that that Stumblor, that Davey is going to make some wonderful things for this game. Are going to be interactive as well. There's going to be some other mod makers who are going to make some really good stuff. And I think I wouldn't worry too much. I think if you're getting a pro and maybe the shark is not doing anything, I have a feeling that'll be sorted out. If they sell enough of these and it's profitable to do so, then someone's going to make an animated shark for it. In the same way that Mandalorian, what was Yoda called in that? The little baby one?
Baby Yoda, the child,
Grogu. Somebody eventually made an animated version of that. So I mean, this stuff will just get done eventually anyway.
And everyone's, even like my Godzilla, my mate Shane put me onto. There's a company in Japan that makes little models of the Godzilla monsters, and there's 2 boxes. They're not cheap, but they're not expensive. And I've just loaded them up in my playfield because there's no other monsters in that playfield, right? So no different with that model of the Orca. I'm sure people will start putting more sharks in the playfield and all that type of stuff. But some
people go too far though, don't they? Have you noticed?
They do. Yeah, they do. So I guess to recap, right? I guess we know that the obvious thing is chum bucket, water, blood, LED lights, fin, shark attack, repeat, and that's not a bad thing.
No, I actually like it. That excites me. For a little bit too long, I think that a lot of pinball code and a lot of pinball rules have got away from me. And I do like a simplistic game. And the more I get into pinball, I'm almost reverted. I remember the first time ever. So Matt, who you'd have seen on the last Chinwag that we did on here, who was in there, and we were playing.
He's the pinball president there for the.
I'm going to call him El Presidente. Actually, El Presidente and Matt. That's right, the very same. By the way, Matt is London Pinball, and if you're in the UK, you can hire machines. We've got an event, got a party, and got a location, a bar, a brothel. He will
talk about a segue.
Absolutely, he doesn't run the brothel, but if you got one, when you got a load of punters lined up and they want to play a bit of pinball while they're waiting. Got their favourite one? I don't know. I'm going to stop actually at that point. But London Pinball have got nothing to do with brothels, but they do hire pinball. We covered everything that they do. They do also hire pinball machines.
Well, one quick question because I forgot this. I know you got to go. The blood.
Yeah.
Right. There's no blood on the machine. There's no blood anywhere. Right. And they're going, oh, it's kid friendly, but Elvira's got her boobies out.
Yeah, rightly so.
What's the difference? Like
what between blood and boobies?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about kid friendly, you play Alvaro, you just want to motorboat the machine half the time.
Okay, but I can tell you where the blood is going to come from, actually. So that sort of wave bit that goes up and it sort of loops the shot back over. I think that's what goes to the upper playfield. If you look on that, it looks quite unfinished, jagged metal. I think what's going to happen is when you go and put the balls inside the machine, you slide the glass off, you'll put the balls in, you're going to cut yourself on that jagged, unfinished metal. And I think that is going to spill your own blood. It'd be really bespoke and you've got a personalization.
BYOB.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I like that. Very good. Yeah, it would be a totally bespoke. And I think that's where the blood's going to come from. I'll tell you what, though. The more I'm talking myself into it, and this is why this hobby is crazy. Grown ass men were messaging me last night, telling me if they could just get through the next 24 hours of the FOMO, and I'm feeling the same way. By the way, if I can just honestly, I had 3 separate phone calls or messages saying if I can just get through the FOMO, I might be able to resist buying this game. It's like addicts, people like they're fentanyl or something, right? They're desperately trying to get over it, right? So, and I totally understand it. And I've been really excited. I'm sort of convincing myself to get one. If I do, I'm getting the blood. I'm getting the blood spattered all over
Oh,
it.
of course.
Not mine, not
Yeah.
mine, obviously, but
No, of course.
sort of painted.
But I don't know if you've seen, so like on Ghostbusters, right? You can get the magnetic slime for underneath the backlight.
Yes.
Underneath the so like I'm sure you'll be able to get like red magnetic, blood, and for the like that there'll be so many cool mods. But
Yeah.
apparently Stern opted to go away from blood for I don't know if this is true or not, just to be more kid friendly.
Yeah, I can tell you, kids cut themselves more than anyone else I've ever known. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
They come back in after playing on their skateboard, and they have no knees left. There's blood everywhere. So yeah, I mean, kids, it's fine. I don't think they're overly everyone's worried these days about offending everyone on every little thing. I think it's fine. I think people know that they're not going to get eaten by a shark if they play this pinball machine.
Unless you're in Australia. My grandfather used to say, never trust something that bleeds for 7 days and doesn't die.
What does?
Just saying.
It's a good saying. I can't think of anything that would, to be perfectly honest with you. Anyway, listen, I'm going to have to go because I've got I've got another video to do. I've got me work video to do. I've got a football video, soccer video to do. Actually, there we go. There's lots. It's busy.
You should plug your own channel.
It's all right. It's fine. It's cool. I think people will be sorely disappointed, and we're doing all right. We're not doing too badly, but but this is what I'm feeling passionate about at the moment. It's JAWS and it's pinball, and I absolutely love it. Enzo, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it, buddy. For everybody else, look, we're gonna be keeping a lot of content going, and there was someone that messaged me about overdoing Elton John videos and criticizing me for producing Elton John videos, and he's saying getting very bored with the channel, very bored with myself. And if I produce another Elton John video, he would no longer watch the channel. So I'll be producing another Elton John video next week, so you can all look forward to that. Actually, that's leaving. So yeah, I'll be waving goodbye to Elton John.
That's right, man. I got accused of being boring as well. So hey, we've got something in common.
You do. There we go. But hopefully you've been a little bit excited by the JAWS release. If not, hopefully you're a little bit excited that Cactus Canyons have landed in the UK. I'll be back soon. I've got lots of videos planned. I've actually got a list, got a little whiteboard over there of video ideas coming up, and we've got lots of video footage coming up soon. Hopefully an interview with a really big hitter in the pinball world, one of the top guys as well. And hopefully, I honestly, if I can get some footage of JAWS, the machine, not the shark. So I've got to stop doing that joke. I will bring it to you soon. Enzo, cheers, mate. You can go to bed now.
Yeah.
Cheers, buddy. See ya. Thanks, mate.
No worries.